10 easy menu items for kitchens in quarantine. With the arrival of the current health crisis hitting the globe like a ton of bricks, everybody's life has been flipped upside down seemingly overnight. With people being ushered into self-isolation and quarantine, the majority of the world is now in full lockdown in an attempt to flatten the curve and avoid overwhelming our health services. For us foodies, that means no eating out, no drop-ins at the deli, and no frequent stops at the grocery store. Now more than ever, we have to be creative with our cooking and learn how to make do with what we have. In today's video, we'll be looking at easy meals that you can make out of your quarantined kitchen. 1. Tinned bean chili. No need for hard-to-find ingredients. You can make this variation of a traditional Mexican favorite from regular store cupboard items. Simply fry up some onions and fresh garlic. Garlic powder will do if you're out of the fresh stuff. Once browned, tip in tinned tomatoes, kidney beans, chickpeas, cannellini beans, and some regular baked beans if you have them. Add in half a teaspoon of paprika, a sprinkling of chili seeds, a scattering of oregano, and a generous pinch of additional garlic powder. Stir well before dropping a few bay leaves into the mixture. Cover and leave to simmer for at least half an hour. The mixture should thicken up beautifully. If the chili starts to stick to the bottom of the pan, then add a dash of water as necessary. And once the chili is fragrant, cooked through and bubbling, scoop into bowls and enjoy with your favorite rice or quinoa. Delicious with a side of salsa. Recipe coming next. 2. Homemade dips. If you're someone who reaches for snap lid ready pots when they fancy something to dip into, then you aren't alone. Ready-made dips are some of the most popular purchases when a session in front of the telly. However, they can be expensive and don't tend to last long. Did you know that you can make your own with very little effort? From homemade hummus, pop half a tin of chickpeas into a blender along with a drizzle of olive oil, some garlic powder, and a pinch of salt. Squeeze in some lemon juice, making sure to catch any pips, and a drizzle of tahini. Blend until smooth before serving with a sprinkle of colorful paprika. For fresh salsa, throw half a bowl of chopped fresh tomatoes, a handful of coriander leaves, and a half of chopped red onion into a blender. Squeeze some lemon juice into the mixture and sprinkle over a pinch of salt and a scattering of garlic powder. Pulse to mix, ensuring you don't completely blend it into a puree. Tip onto a bowl and drizzle with some olive oil. You can enjoy both dips with crackers, nachos, vegetable sticks, or whatever else you fancy. 3. Super vegetable soups. Frozen vegetables hidden in the deep freezer? Limp salad lurking in the fridge? Instead of wasting precious food supplies, whip up a delicious blended soup. Pop a knob of butter into a large pan, followed by chopped onions. Once browned, throw in your chopped ingredients. There are no rules. Follow your taste buds and your leftovers. As soon as everything is in the pan, give it a quick stir around to coat before pouring in enough water to almost cover the ingredients. Throw in a stock cube before covering the pan. Leave the mixture to simmer for an hour before using a hand blender to blend until smooth. You can experiment with flavorings each time you make this soup by adding in a spoon of Marmite for depth of flavor, a dollop of cream for richness, or anything else that inspires you from your store cupboard. Serve with hot toast and the best butter you can get your hands on. Perfect evening comfort for any night of the week. 4. Indian roti flatbread. If you are a lucky individual with flour in storage, then you're all set up for this recipe. Take a large mixing bowl and add a full cup of self-rising flour with half a teaspoon of salt, followed by a half a cup of boiling water. Mix with a spoon until the mixture is cool enough to handle. Then knead with your hands for 5 minutes, or bouncy to the touch. Once kneaded, set the dough aside and allow it to rise. When the dough doubles in size, you can then start pulling off egg-sized balls of dough and rolling them out as thinly as possible. Stack these uncooked rotis with kitchen paper in between to stop them from sticking. Heat an oiled pan on high heat until it just starts smoking. You need to get the pan really hot to get these lovely blistering roti bubbles. Cook the rotis one by one for about 1 minute on each side and serve with curries and pickles. 5. Chicken tray bake. This incredibly easy recipe is a fantastic way of using up odds and ends in the in-between days before your next venture out to the shops. Take a large, oiled baking tray and scatter chopped fresh or frozen vegetables across it, along with some pumpkin seeds and pine nuts. Then, place chopped chicken pieces into a mixing bowl with Cajun spice mix, a little paprika, a squeeze of lemon, and a dollop of plain yogurt. Loosely mix together before spooning the coated chicken pieces on top of the tray vegetables. At this stage, you can add extra flavors and sauces. Be creative with what you have. For heat lovers, a drizzle of hot pepper sauce works well. Pop the tray into the center of a heated oven at a medium temperature and cook for 15 minutes. Now remove the tray and mix everything around using a wooden spoon before returning it to the oven for a further 25 to 30 minutes. Remove and serve immediately with a fresh salad or tortilla wraps. 6. Truffle energy balls. Whether you're working from home or desperately attempting to keep a clan of hungry children fed, these easily made energy balls are a definite keeper. You can even prepare several batches at a time to keep you going for a few weeks. To make these delicious treats, simply pop a generous handful of deep-pitted dates into a blender, along with a teaspoon of cocoa powder, half a handful of almonds, and a generous spoon of smooth peanut butter. Once all the ingredients are in, combine on high speed until you have a smooth, heavy mixture. Scoop out a teaspoon's worth at a time and roll by hand into a ball before coating in coconut flakes or finely chopped nuts. Place in the fridge for at least an hour before enjoying as a dessert, a snack, or an easygoing afternoon pick-me-up. 7. Dry ramen pho. Dry ramen noodles are a lockdown essential. They're cheap to buy, easy to make, last a lifetime, and are insanely good with just a little bit of effort. To make dry ramen pho, start by frying off some onion, garlic, and fresh chili until lightly caramelized. Add in chopped button mushrooms for a nice earthy flavor and thinly sliced chicken breast if you fancy your ramen meaty. Once cooked, add 500 milliliters of chicken stock and leave to simmer for at least 10 minutes before adding 1 packet of dry ramen. Remove from the heat and leave the noodles to soften at their own pace. Season with soy sauce and top with all the freshly tasted goodies you can get your quarantine hands on. Fresh coriander, lemongrass, and crumbled peanuts are my go-to, but you could go all out by adding a pile of stir-fried green veggies like broccoli, pak choy, and courgette. 8. Loaded potato skins. Bored of jacket potatoes? Tired of mash? Revitalize the humble potato by creating some delicious and easy-to-make loaded skins. Simply bake large whole potatoes in the oven as if you were preparing regular baked potatoes. Once the skin is firm and the center is soft, remove them from the oven and slice each potato in half. Using a tablespoon, scoop out the white soft potato almost but not quite up to the skin edge. Place the scooped potato into a large bowl before adding grated cheese, fried bacon pieces, a generous dollop of cream cheese, and some seasoning. If you have chives, feel free to add these now. Roughly spoon together the blend before gently scooping it back into the waiting skins. Sprinkle with a little extra cheese before placing under the grill until golden. Delicious! 9. Hawaiian toast. While stuck at home, grilled cheese is a definite go-to. Not only is it a comfort food, but it's cheap and easy to make. But if you're interested in upping your melted cheese game, then you might want to give Hawaiian toast a try. Get your sliced bread under the grill until it's lightly toasted, then place a slice of ham on each slice, followed immediately by tinned or fresh pineapple rings. Generously sprinkle grated cheese evenly across the surface of each slice before placing back under the grill until the cheese is melted and bubbling. Sandwich together and enjoy! These are great on their own, or for a fuller meal, you can serve them with a pile of salad and some sliced apricots. This easy meal will certainly add a little Hawaiian brightness to any day in lockdown. 10. Flapjacks. I'm sure most of you have hoarded away some oats during your panic buys, so now it's time to put them to good use. Flapjacks are insanely easy to make, and you can put them together in a matter of moments with only the most basic ingredients. Fill a medium-sized tray with oats until almost full, then transfer to a mixing bowl. Drizzle with a little oil and around 150 grams of melted butter before generously mixing in enough natural runny honey to make a dense, sticky mess. Now, go crazy with dry goods by adding some chopped nuts, raisins, and chocolate chips before mixing again like your life depends on it. Return the mixture back to your original tray, pressing it down firmly and evenly. Cook in a medium heat oven for around 25 minutes or until the top is golden brown. Your flapjack might feel a little squidgy, but it will firm up as it cools. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on that little bell icon to keep up to date with the latest from Eatable. See you next time!